What's up guys, and welcome back for another EVE Online video. Today we are trying our hand in the Crimson Harvest event. We will be flying in our Gila. The event spawned yesterday. I've run a couple of the sites. I think I've run the Crimson Gauntlet a few times. I ran it first of all on my Raven to play it safe. Obviously the Raven's a battleship. It ran the site easy enough. I was never in any danger of dying, but it was incredibly slow because I had trouble applying any damage to the frigates in the site. So I thought I would try and do something a little bit faster, a bit risky but a bit faster. So I've dropped down to my Gila. I lost one because it wasn't very well fit and I misplayed the boss wave. So I've gone bought another one, refit it, tested it out, and it was successful. So I'll run into the site in a second. So just real quick, the fit. I've just gone with a massive blob Gila. Again, just to be safe. Like it's mostly. Let me hit simulate so you can see the stats. It's just shield. In the rigs I've just got Field Extender IIs. In the highs I've got the Rapid Light Missile Launcher IIs. Obviously you can use meta wire versions if you can't fit these. And the EM light missiles, so the Mjolnir. You want to be doing EM damage as much as you can in these sites, and tanking for EM and thermal. We'll have a look when we drop in, but the rats have a big hole in their tank in EM and thermal, and in explosive and kinetic they've got excellent tank, and similarly the damage profile is the same. I filled the other high slot just with the remote armor rep, just so I can heal my drones up a little bit, but it's kind of redundant. And then in the mids, just large shield extender 2s, 3 of them, make us a big blob. The EM Shield Amplifier II for some passive EM resistance. The Shield Hardener II EM for some active resistance, and then the Thermal Shield Amplifier II as well, again for some passive, just to bring the numbers up in our EM and thermal. And then in the lows, 2 Drone Damage Amplifier IIs, and at the moment I have a Damage Control 2 just to make me a little bit safer. Once I'm more confident running the site, I'll probably swap that out for another Drone Damage Amplifier just to speed things along. And just the drones I'm using are the Infiltrator IIs, again for the EM damage. Hammerheads will be fine because they do have a thermal hole, but the biggest hole is in the EM. So that's the fit. I've got the Death Glow skin on. Sorry. Where's the fit window? That one. Just so it's the Death Glow Hunters. If you like this skin. And just a note, the fit, if I don't have this running, the fit is completely stable, so that's fine, as you'd expect. It's passive. DPS is fine. I'll talk about it when we get into the site, but the major issue with these is the drone aggro. So you might think it's a bit counterintuitive that I'm flying a drone boat, but the additional HP in the drones from the Gila is hugely important. But it was just, when I flew in my Raven, it was just absurd how quickly they would drop aggro and target the drones. Often, once I'd released the drones into space, but before I was able to control them, they'd have already picked up aggro and I had to draw them back in. So that was the issue with running that in the Raven. It was so slow because I couldn't take out the frigates. But anyway, without further ado, let's go get stuck in. So we're warping into the Shining Flame base. The sites are just in your probe scanner as cosmic anomalies. I haven't done a Shining Flame base yet. I've just been doing Crimson Gauntlet so far, but there are none in this system, so let's give this a go. I don't think it should be that different. But we'll see how we get on. Is someone already running this? No. But so the first thing, so I'll drop my MTU because it's worth checking out the loot. The gate's quite a long way away, but that's okay. You'll see there's 2 gates, and there's a lot of E-War. So let me just get started in here. I'm going to take out the frigates first, just because they're the ones with the worst drone aggro. Oh, but the curse with the capacitor damage, the capacitor drain, not hugely important for this ship because it's a passive tank, but it's still worth doing. So that's what I'm going to go after first, then the Crusader, because he's got me warp scrammed, and if things go horribly wrong I do want to be able to leave and not lose everything. You just have a quick look. That's the sort of the damage profile you're looking at. Oh, the curse actually has some good explosive damage, so that's worth knowing. But this is what you want to be targeting with your damage, the EM and the thermal. Oh, that's in the shield. It's difficult to say. That's what I've built, and it's been working for me. If you get into the armor, and some of them are probably armor tanked, then it's you want to do explosive damage. So it's difficult to say. Right, drone aggro, return. Can we take that out with this? And you'll see they swap back immediately, so you just have to pull them back in, and you're good to go. Stick around to the end of the video if you want to find out about the loot. Well, obviously I'll show you what I managed to pick up. It seems quite, in the Crimson Gauntlets, it seemed pretty variable so far. There's some skin drops, there's overseer effects, but at differing levels every time. And apparently you can pick things up in the first couple of rooms as well, but it's quite a low chance, so it's just worth bringing them to you with you and having a look as you go. But you can see this tank is holding up relatively well at the moment. I've not dropped below 40%, and they've aggroed my drones again. Which one am I currently going for? Not that one, so I'll put them back in. And the damage comes in very quickly and hard. And now we'll go straight back out and back to the Omen. And we'll just work our way through. As I say, this is my first run in the Shining Flame base, so I'm not sure how many waves there are in each room, but if it's anything like the Crimson Gauntlet, there'll just be the one wave in this room and it will unlock this gate. You can see at the moment there's just secure shortcut gate. Once we kill this, another gate should appear in here. That's called just something like unlocked acceleration gate, something like that, and we'll be able to head through it. There we are, active accelerator gate. He managed to hit my drones just at the last there, that's upsetting. I've got no prop mod on this because the gates aren't that far away, and it's worth getting a bit of shield recharge in as we head over to the gate. So we'll just look at this as the last one comes in. Nothing of note, but we'll pick it up anyway. Scoop you and head through the gate in a second. What else did I want to mention? The drone aggro is tough, and this is why I'm now using the Gila for the drone bonuses to the shield and stuff. And also they appear to drop aggro from my Gila a lot less often than they did when I was in my Raven. When I flew in the Raven, it was absurd. They would just aggro the drones instantly every time, and they can get close to sort of two-shotting them, and that's obviously a huge issue. And when you're flying with cruise missiles, it's difficult to take frigates and even the cruisers out. It's also worth mentioning that the E-War is fairly strong. If you're going to fly an active fit ship, you might have some problems. There's quite a lot of capacitor drain in some of these event sites. What have we got here? And you'll notice they'll probably do it again here. They warp out. The rats warp out and then warp back in, so that they're better positioned to take you on. So if I try locking that up now, it says I can't. So I'll just wait for them to come back. Here come the frigates, and I won't get my drones out until now. Let's give it a go, see what we can take out. What have we got? The crucifiers. We've got guidance disruption and cap newt from the 2 crucifiers. Come on drones, get stuck in please. And they've already picked up aggro, so I'll put that back. And quickly, come on. So obviously because they've got, the drones have got no traversal when they're going between you and the rats, they can take more damage at that point. So I'm going to have to bring them back in again now, because the cruisers have come in. And what have we got? We've got Curse, that'll newt, and the Omen is largely just damage, I believe. But I'm going to go for the Crucifier again, because of the Guidance Disruption. And I'll just start that my missiles running on the Curse. See all the Ewok coming. We've got Web from the Omen. And Tracking Disruption from the Curse. So if you were using turrets, that would be an issue. And the Web is if you're speed tanking, that's a problem. So far for me, the Blob Gila has been most effective. It goes through it fairly quickly. We picked up aggro again. Yeah, it goes through the sites relatively quickly because the drone damage is very strong. And it's also perfectly capable of taking out the battleship, which is the final spawn. So in the third room, you get one or two waves and then the battleship spawn. We picked up aggro again. You can see how quickly, the damage as well. You can see how quickly they can aggro your drones, and how effective the capacitor neuting is. You see that 80 per run from the Curse, so that's quite effective, and the damage coming in isn't insignificant either. So I've got fairly good resist profile, but it's only because I've got so much shield that this is relatively safe. If you had a lower shield and you were having to shield boost, you'd be in some real trouble about now. The other thing to bear in mind, and he's dropped aggro, but up close I think they should hopefully be okay, because they've got the traversal when they're on him. We'll just keep an eye on their health. What was I about to say? The thing to bear in mind with passive shield fits is the passive recharge rate is strongest at 1/3, so 33%. So someone is streaming, Count Convict. So you can, if you watch your shields go down quite quickly here, you don't have to worry too much, because the recharge rate in your tank is strongest around this part of the shield, and that's what you just want to keep an eye on. He managed to get a hit off on my drone, but just the one so far. And we should have him gone. Pull my drones back in. You'll see the gate hasn't unlocked, so because it's not available here, so you just have to sit and wait for the next wave to spawn, which will be any second. I'll pull my drones back in, and I would be reloading my missiles if they hadn't already just done it. We get a quick bit of shield recharge, which is nice. Here they come. And it's not just going to be the 3 frigates, I'm sure. They'll probably be followed by cruisers, although not yet by the looks of things, which is good. I don't know what the Crusader does, so we'll keep an eye on that, but to start with I'm going to go for the newts again. Here they come. Oh, okay, so the Crusader is the Warp Scram, so I will take that out fairly early on as well, because I would like to, as I said, be able to leave. Pull them back in because they've got aggro, a lot of aggro. I'm going to throw 2 different ones out because they're taking too much damage. There we go. Crusader, so I can leave, as I say, and let's get missiles on the Curse. We'll find out what the Augora does in a second as well. At the moment, nothing, possibly just high damage, I suppose. But we shall find out. But as I say, it's going well at the moment. 64% shield. Get rid of the Crusader, we can warp out if we need to. Drones on the Crucifier for the last frigate of capacitor drain, and then get the drones on the curse. The Omen is now webbing us, but still nothing from the Augora. So potentially he's just high damage. What can we see? Augora 130, it's the biggest number. 92, not sure at the moment. Aggro, wasn't paying enough attention. Get them back out onto the curse. Again, you can see thermal and EM. Every now and again the curse throws out an explosive shot, but thermal and EM are the main damage points. But you can see that so far it's all relatively safe in the blob Gila. And also, if you hadn't noticed, I don't know if it's all the wrecks or just the wrecks in the sites, in the event sites, but the icons are pumpkins.
A module has
Let me see if I go over here, you can see that it's vaguely pumpkin shaped. When it's full, it's very clear. So we will have a look in a second if this one drops full. That's the wrong one. There you go, a little smiley face pumpkin. Come back in because he's changed his aggro completely. Not even yellow boxing me. There we go. I guess it could be that the Augora was providing logi for the other ships. He could have been repairing them remotely. That's distinctly possible. If I hadn't mentioned already, this site is in high sec, by the way, the Shining Flame base, as is the Crimson Gauntlet, which I will try and do another video for as and when I find one. Yeah, they're high sec spawns. Also, you may have noticed they've got aggro again. You may have noticed a second acceleration gate in the first room. That's locked, and you need a pass key for it. I've got absolutely no idea where you get a pass key from. Possibly some other sites in low sec, or it might randomly drop from these ones, but as when we find out, we'll let you know. You see there's two waves in this room, and the gate is now unlocked. There is a third spawn as well. I'm not sure whether it seems to be kind of random at what the duration is, and what all the spawns contain is a little bit random as well. So if you wanted to rush these and you wanted to avoid the third spawn completely, I'd recommend moving to the gate earlier, because if they warp in and have warp scram, then you can't use the gate until you've killed the warp scram. This is the longest I've seen where they haven't warped in, so again, as I say, all the timers seem a little bit random. The stuff that spawns in the waves is pretty random. But it's always so the composition of the waves is random, but the types of ships are always the same. So as in, there will always be curses, or omens, or auguras, or crusaders, or crucifiers, and I think that might be the full spectrum in this site. And then obviously the battleship for the boss spawn. So we're just going to be allowed to move on, hopefully. Activate, please.
Warp drive active.
So the third room is the final room. Everything's gone well so far. Hopefully we'll get a good drop. As I say, it's been fairly random from the few I've done so far. First one I ran in the Raven, I think had there were no good items or skins or anything, but the Overseer's effect dropped, and I think I had a Overseer's effect 6, which is worth less than $1 million, and a 15, which is 20 odd million, so that was quite nice. Second one I ran, I got a Paladin skin drop, which is is very nice. Like that was the estimated value is 250 million, so that was lucky. And then the third one I ran, there was largely nothing. Again, it was 2 overseers effects, but 6 and 8, I think. Which so the whole thing was worth 2 million ish. The other thing I've noticed here, actually, which is interesting, is the Crimson Gauntlet. The rats have bounties, and quite good ones. They are worth, so the frigates are 100,000, I think. The cruisers are 300,000. Or the other way around, 300,000 for the frigates. The cruisers are 600,000, and then the boss was 5 million. But at the moment, these don't appear to have any bounty in this site, the Shining Flame base. So that's worth knowing, because you'd get about 10 million in bounty from the other site, even if you didn't get good loot. So that potentially means the loot drop could be better from this one. As I say, it's the first time I've run it, so I have no idea what loot there might be. These guys appear to be proper Amar, an Amar faction, because they are flying genuine Amar ships, whereas it's again slightly different in the other site. So we'll see. Could be some faction loot, but perhaps let's find out. Have I dropped my MTU? Yes, I have. Go on to the Auguras, but focus your fire. Tank's holding absolutely fine. The 3 cruisers should melt fairly quickly. Don't have to worry so much about drone aggro when it's just the cruisers on the field. When they do hit, they hit hard, but the chance of them hitting is fairly low. And there you go, you can see, or you could see, it's just dropped now, because they are going to target my drones instead, all of them simultaneously. But you can see the something being transferred between the 3 vessels. So they've got I don't know if it's a rep or capacitor chain, but they've got some form of logistics chain between the Auguras. You can see there's the transfer. See the animation. Remote rep maybe. The armor just chunked around. So that's something worth looking at if your DPS isn't that high. You may have some trouble getting through the remote reps.
A module has run out of charges.
Shouldn't be too much problem once you've broken the chain though. Here comes a happy pumpkin. I imagine these sites will become fairly well contested as well at some stage. At the moment I've only had one person come in and try and nick my loot from me, but I imagine they're going to be fairly well contested once they get up and running, and once a few YouTube videos go out showing people how to do them and what sort of loot you can expect. If we get a really good drop here, obviously on video, and someone sees like you can pick up a 250 million ISK skin, they're gonna go and take the risk to go and do it. You know, this fit is about 320 million because the T2 rigs, and actually Gilas have gotten quite expensive, their price has gone up. So you're looking at about 320 million for this fit, but that means you get one of those skins and a good overseas effect drop. You pay for this in one run, providing you can sell the skin, of course. I kind of want to keep it because I like the skins, and at some stage I will be flying a paladin, but you know, it's fairly vain. But as I say, look how good skins can look. Alright, that wave's done. Let's see if we get a second wave before the boss spawn. Again, so bring the drones in every time, because otherwise they'll take the initial aggro and you won't. So we've got another wave before the boss. Oh, a deacon. Okay, no idea what a deacon does. And now we've got some battle cruisers as well, oracles, which are doing a lot of damage. So let's go take out the deacon, and then we're being sensor dampened by the oracles, who are hitting very hard in EM again, and they're already targeting my drones. So, oh, that's so much damage. Got him back in time. That was one hit chunked all the way through shield and armor. And they're out at good range. So actually, is my 28, so it's hitting this guy, but oh, and they've aggro again. But I can't target him currently with my missiles. That is a horrible drone aggro, as you can see. Try again. But as soon as I send them out, 618 damage. Hey, picked up drone aggro again, but if they can make it to him, oof. If they can make it to him, they should be okay. I prefer not to lose too many drones. I've lost one, but they're up there now, so he can't track them, which is good, but the other one we'll be able to. So if they fly over to him, get over there fast. He's still hitting them. Might lose it here.
A module has run out of charges.
Shield's still holding fine. You can see they've not been hit for a while because their shields are recharging at the moment. The oracles melt fairly quickly by the looks of things, but they did very high damage. So you could be volleyed off the field by those guys. In the other site, the boss spawns while you're still clearing the last wave, so ideally you want to clear it as quickly as possible as well. Pull them back in, and let's see if we get another spawn. While we're here, might just take a quick screenshot. Because that's quite a nice view of the station, and here is the boss. Also not worth any bounty. Let's see what his damage is like. We've picked up aggro, so out go the drones. 572 in thermal and EM, 549, and he's webbing us. And a sacrilege has arrived. And I'm warp scrammed. So hopefully the sacrilege will just move on, but all the good loot tends to drop from this guy, so he might try and get the final blow and leave before leaving. Let's see, doesn't look like he's going anywhere at the moment. Someone's got aggro. Is it my drones or is it the sacrilege? Can't tell. It's my drones because they are being warp scrammed. And the sacrilege is now attacking him. That's very annoying. So this is one of the problems with these event sites. Obviously they will be heavily contested. I just have to hope I get the last hit and it becomes my wreck. But we'll see. I mean, it does mean he melts pretty quickly, but I need the last hit if I can get it. I'm relying on my drones to do some work here. Okay, that should be mine.
A module has run out of charges.
My MTU will grab it as well, so he won't be able to. So unlucky, missed a sacrilege. Lovely job. That's the site finished. So now the all-important thing, let's check out the loot. Nothing brilliant. I don't know what these are. War clone blanks. These human clones have been engineered from infantry combat and are waiting in the reserve. War clone blanks are a valuable piece of biology and they are in particularly high demand within the territory of the Blood Raider Covenant. Interesting. So they have no worth at the moment, but perhaps they are going to be valuable soon, or go to the Blood Raiders or something. But anyway, well, that's the complete site. Shame there was no decent loot at all. The sacrilege probably is going to be doing that site now. No, he warped somewhere else. Just fancied trying to steal my site. But yeah, that's the site, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll try and get a Crimson Gauntlet over to you as well at some point over the weekend, because that's where I've been able to get some good loot. But I'll try another one of these. And yeah, the fit will be linked in the description. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.